So obviously, we know that the days in between Pesach until Shavuot are called Sefirat Haomer. The days in which we count up from Pesach until Shavuot, which is the holiday we get the Torah, we count up. Happens to be, this is also the time where we mourn for the students of Rabbi Akiva. As Shulchan Aruch brings down, Siman Tav Tzadik Gimel, he brings down that we mourn in this time, not to get haircuts, not to get married, until the 33rd of the Omer. As you're going to see, that over the next few weeks, you're going to see me getting grislier and grislier with the hair, Baruch Shemo. And a few different minhagim we see. But we know that the few different minhagim we have, the Shulchan Aruch brings down, for example, not getting married, we said, not getting a haircut, not listening to music. Certain minhagim that we have this time, and we're mourning, specifically until, for the Ashkenazim, until Lag, until the 33rd of the Omer, and for the Sfaradim, until the 34th in the morning of the Omer. That's how Shulchan Aruch brings it down. However, we should know that when we're mourning on these days, first of all, we have to understand what we're mourning over. Because if you think about it in relativity, 24,000 people is not a big number relative to Yom HaShoah, which happened this week, which is the day of the remembrance of the Holocaust, 6 million Jews. And we still don't have 33 days of mourning. Maybe one day we commemorate, we give classes, so on and so forth. But what was so drastic about this day that 24,000 Talmidim Rabbi Akiva? So first things first, we have to bring down and understand that these days are not only just the days that Rabbi Akiva's students passed away. It's also, says the Aruch HaShulchan, a day where the blood libel started, the first crusades, and pogroms. And many times throughout history, this was actually a tragic time for the Jewish people. The Pri Etz Chaim says that this time is actually a time of severity, of judgment. It's a little bit against the Gemara Masechet Shabbat, which is a time of healing. However, we know this is a difficult time, and that's actually another opinion says that this is a time where the crop is judged, and that's why we bring the Korban HaOmer, which is what we're counting up to, so on and so forth. But we see this is actually a bad time. It goes deeper than just the 24,000. But the 24,000 students of Rabbi Akiva is one of the most mentioned and known customs of why we mourn. So I want to look into the story just a little bit. The Gemara in Yevamot says, brings down a pasuk in Kohelet, and I'll read it to you in English. It says, sow your seed in the morning, and don't hold back your hand in the evening, since you don't know which one is going to succeed, one or the other. And if both are equally good, great. If not, then you don't know which one is good. So it's a machlok in the Gemara. But Rabbi Akiva says over there that a person who learns Torah when he's young, he should also learn Torah when he gets older. He also says that a person who has students when he's young, he should also have students when he's younger. And they say, what's an example of this? Rabbi Akiva, says the Gemara, had 12,000 pairs of students, well, 12,000 times 2, 24,000 students, who all passed away in one time. Says the Gemara, from when? From Pesach until Shavuot. From the holiday of Pesach until Shavuot, every single one of them passed away. Now we have to understand that these people were giants in Torah. That every single one of them were on the highest level of Torah. How do we know? The Gemara says when they passed away, the world was desolate of Torah. The Torah was almost destroyed from the world. It was almost gone from the world. If Rabbi Akiva would have woke up that morning and said, look, I can't do it. 24,000 students. I invested 24 years of my life into these people, into myself, to grow and to become. And now you want me to wake up the next morning and go teach? You want me to go next morning and give another shiur? And the Gemara says, what did Rabbi Akiva do? He went down to the south, and he met the rabbis over there, and he taught 5 students. Who were those 5 students? Rabbi Meir, Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Shimon, and Rabbi Elazar. So that's what it says over there in Gemara. And these 5 students, you should know, the whole Torah that we have today stands on them. The Mishnot, for example, Rabbi Yehuda Nasi was the one who put together all of the Mishnayot, which is what we use today, which is the basis of every type of learning we have today. We can have where would we be today without it? And that's only one of 5. So you can imagine what 24,000 of them would have been. But why did they pass away? What did they do that was so drastic they had to pass away? Says the Gemara that they weren't noeg kavod zeh im zeh. They didn't treat each other with respect. But what's interesting is the Midrash in Bereshit Rabbah and Kohelet Rabbah, 2 different places, also brings down the story of Rabbi Akiva's students. And it doesn't say that they were not treating each other respectfully. Actually, over there it says that the eyes were narrow with each other in their learning. What does it mean the eyes were narrow with each other? It says that Yosef, a commentary on the Midrash, he says that they hated each other and they were jealous of each other, envious of each other. and they didn't want to learn with each other. One of them would come to ask the other one a question. He said, listen, leave me alone. I'm not answering you. Today, you have a question, you have 15 different rabbis. Those were all 24,000 of them were the only rabbis around. The Gemara says, once they passed away, the world was desolate. There was no Torah on the way, almost. Now what happens now? They have a question. They want to go ask their friend. They want to go ask their fellow. The guy says, look, leave me alone. I have no interest in helping you. Figure it out. You can't figure it out, too bad. Today, you go open up another book, another 2 books, you figure it out. Then they didn't have Rashi, they didn't have Tosfot, they didn't have all these commentaries. Either you know, you didn't know. And they didn't want to help each other. That's what it says. Very simply. That they hated each other and didn't want to learn together. Now, of course, we have to first bring down that these people were giants. We cannot just bring this down and throw it out like it's easy. They hated each other, they didn't like each other. Obviously, it was on a deeper level. If you ask me, this is my opinion, this doesn't come down from any of the Mefarshim. I don't think that they actually were mean to one another, but I think that they didn't like each other in their hearts. You know when you see another person succeeding and it bothers you? Oh, he's doing better than you. He's succeeding more than you. Or you're trying to get married, all of a sudden he gets married, he gets engaged. It's like it burns you a little bit in the heart, no? It's called envy. It's called envy. So maybe when they saw each other learning, one of them came up with a bigger hidush. Oh, you know, I just thought of wow, I just had an original thought. Wow, so amazing. Another guy sitting over there, I wish I would have had that thought. Possible. This is from me. It's possible to say that because they were giants in Torah. But let's examine it a little bit further. How did they pass away? The Gemara says they passed away from a sickness called askara, which is basically a sickness that attacks the throat. It says that they died of mavet ra'ah, which means a bad death, a very hard, painful death. It says the Ben Yehoda that basically what does that mean? Anytime you have a bad death, it means that anytime a person loses their power to speak, their ability to speak, it's considered to be a bad death. And he says that they all lost their ability to speak. That's how they died. Something similar to La'avdil Me'avdalot, someone said the other day, like Corona, in the time when it was in the peak and people were, unfortunately. So imagine, every single day, bodies were 24,000 of them in the span of 33 days. 34 days. Imagine how many of them, boom, 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 and what? In a sickness that took away the way of speaking. Says the Chidushei Agadot, the Maharal, he says, you know why they were so punished severely? What did they do? They weren't concerned with the respect for one another. What does it mean? They were so great. Can you imagine sitting down in a room with 24,000 people who are, every single one of them are giants in Torah? Every single one of them is a huge in Torah. When the rabbi walks in, hopefully they'll come tonight, but when the rabbi walks in, you'll see usually everybody gets up for the rabbi, yes? Imagine 24,000 rabbis, all sitting in one room. You can never sit. All day you'd be like this, all day. Never to sit down. Okay, another one, need another one. And I can't go anywhere. So all this, I'm standing, that's it, forget about it, you know? Or they're learning with each other. He's going back and forth. You're sitting down and learning with one of the biggest rabbis. Yes, you're right, you're also one of the biggest rabbis. But you're sitting down learning one of the biggest rabbis. They weren't concerned with the honor of one another. That's a little bit of a problem. And he says it also could be, says the Maharal, it also could be that they didn't speak nicely about each other. We know God is, how does he operate the word God? Midah keneged midah, measure for measure. You didn't speak nicely, so therefore I took away your koch of dibur. I took away your power of speaking. So it could be. Could be that they refuse to speak nicely about each other. Oh, him? Wow, he's amazing. He's so great. I love him. He's amazing. No, him. You know? What's the big deal? So we understand that it goes deeper than just the death of a goof, the death of a body. First is the Torah we're mourning. That how much Torah we lost from the world in that day, in those days. How much Torah we lost when those students were taken from the world. Imagine, how much have we lost? And more than that, the way that it happened was a way of strife, of conflict, of hatred, of disconnection. We know the second Beit HaMikdash, which is the one that we're still fighting for today, was taken because sinat chinam, baseless hatred. We look throughout history, you'll find that every time there's a bad time in the world for the Jewish people, it's based on one thing. What is it based on? Hatred among the Jews, separation among the Jews, groups, subsets of people. Oh, I'm like this, he's like that, I'm like this. No, he's like that group, I'm this group. At the end of the day, we're all Jewish people. You know that they hate one another. You cannot, I don't want to help this guy. Oh no, he's not like me. Oh, he's not, doesn't look like me, he doesn't act like me. He's like this, I'm like that. The way they passed away and the reason they passed away is why we mourn until today. It's a reminder to every single one of us. It's a reminder to every single one of us. You're sitting around with a Jew next to you. You have someone next to you. You know how much you have to love them? How much you have to appreciate them? How much you have to appreciate them? Says the Ben Yehuda something very interesting. He says the words of the Gemara didn't say 24,000. It said 12,000 pairs. No, I'm making you do math now. 12 times 2, 24,000. Some people are like, wait a minute, how much? Why didn't it just say 24,000? Was it 12 pairs? It could have been pairs. Why was it 12 pairs? No. It's in Hebrew, it doesn't say. But when 12 pairs, why does it use this language? Says the Ben Yehuda, he says something very interesting. He says Rabbi Akiva was such a genius, was so holy. He knew that they had a problem with jealousy. So what did he do? He paired them up. Akatani Magadol. The small one in Torah with the big one in Torah. Why? What happens now? Imagine now you're learning with the Rosh Hashiva, the big rabbi, and you're you're sitting over there. How can you not respect this guy's like giant in Torah? You're sitting there, you're a little bit smaller than him. So you know. So Rabbi Akiva, what did he want? The younger guy's gonna look up to the higher person, to the wiser guy, and the wiser guy doesn't have to be jealous of the younger guy. It works out very nicely. Try to make it work. Look, I've put them together. This one's not going to be jealous of this one. This one's not going to, and so forth. So we're holding okay. We have pairs working out. He said, however, it didn't work. Says the Khatam Sofer something very interesting. It says the Khatam Sofer, if you look in the Gemara, it says that they passed away from Pesach until Shavuot. How many days from Pesach to Shavuot? 49 days, 50 really. 49 days is what we count. He says, what's the significance of that? There's a Mishnah in Pirkei Avot, the 6th chapter, the 6th verse, that says there's 48 different attributes a person needs to have in order to acquire Torah. You want to be able to acquire Torah? You want to be able to learn it, retain it, and keep it with you? You have to have 48 different attributes. Yeah, one of them is Ohev Beriot. Loves the creations. Loves God's creations. Good? He says that the Gemara was very specific with its words. Because Shulchan Aruch, what did it say? It says they stopped dying on Lag BaOmer, on the 33rd day. So how come the Gemara doesn't say they died from Pesach until Lag BaOmer, until the 33rd day? That's when they passed away. Why did they continue? To signify to us that they were missing in one of those attributes. One of the 48 attributes they were missing. Says the Gaon Mevilna, these 48 attributes is impossible to do alone. You always need to have somebody with you. In order if you want to get Torah, you have to have somebody with you. You have to have one person with you. Says Khatam Sofer, they were lacking in at least one of them. Which is that? Ohev Beriot. He loves his fellow creations. He loves the people that God created. They were lacking in one of them. Listen to this. Beautiful chidush. Says 12,000 pairs, instead of saying 24,000, and obviously we know they were great giants, so obviously they acquired Torah. Obviously they were able to acquire Torah. They loved the people who were paired up, as the Ben Yehuda said. They were okay with each other. The Charuta, you're younger than you, you're less wise than me, I'm wiser than you. Me and you are good. But the other 23,998 people, they didn't like. Those people didn't want to help. Those people didn't want to be a part with. They didn't want to talk to them. Nothing. So me and you, we're okay. Everybody else, we want nothing to do with them. So now we can understand maybe what was so difficult. Shavuot is the holiday where we get the Torah. And it says in a pasuk in Shemot, Vayichen Sham Yisrael. And the nation of Israel settled there. Says Rashi, when they went to get the Torah, and they settled over there. Where? The mountain of Har Sinai. Says Rashi on the spot, Ke'ish echad belev echad. Like one person with one heart. Meaning to say, you want to get the Torah, you want to bring the Torah to the world, you want to live in a world where we have all goodness and everything is great, we have to be like one person with one heart. Whenever we're separated, that's when we cannot reach it. We cannot reach that 49th level. We cannot get to Shavuot. We cannot get to Matan Torah. We cannot get to the place where we bring Torah down to the world. And maybe that's why it happens on these days, because it's here to wake us up. And say, these are the days, look what's happening in the world today. I don't got to tell you. If this was last year, maybe I don't have to say something crazy over here, no problem, yeah. But look what's happening in the world today. You think, Stam? Holocaust, also when it happened. And my grandfather was in Auschwitz, I could say. I'm saying, don't. My grandfather, I'm from that side also, I'll do that. My grandfather was in Auschwitz on the left side, my father's side. Now what do you think was going on over there? There was separation, there was segregation, we're like this, you're like that. And we see, look what comes down to the world from these times. Whenever we're separated, there's only negativity can come down to the world. So as we're leading up to Shavuot, one of the most important things you have to keep in the forefront of our mind is love your fellow Jew. Be nice to them, be kind to them. Okay, it's not your job to judge anybody. Oh, I'm like this, he's like that, put yourself on a pedestal. There's a story in the Gemara one time, Rabbi Elazar ben Rabbi Shimon. He says one time he saw a person walking along the way and he looked very ugly. So he told him, as he came out of the Bet Midrash, he had a very good learning, he got on his horse and he started riding. And he felt very good about himself, he had a very good learning that day. And he saw a person walking by and he says, oh, you're a very ugly guy. He says, excuse me? What'd you call me? I'm just riding alongside over here, what do you want from me? Why are you calling me ugly? He tells him, what, do you think everyone in your town is also ugly like you? He goes, what? This is how you talk? This is how an esteemed rabbi talks? He says, no, this is, go to the person, go to the creator who made me and you complain to him. You have a problem with me, go complain to him. And then at that moment, Rabbi Elazar says, okay, maybe I made a mistake over here. And they continue on the way, and the whole way he's chasing after him, apologizing, please, forgive me. And it sounds a little bit crazy that he called him ugly, right? They get to the city, the man comes into his town, I mean the ugly guy, quote unquote, comes into his town, and everybody comes to running, they see the big tzaddik is coming to town, they come running to the gates to see the rabbi, they say, oh, he's coming. He says, this is the person, the ugly guy says, this is the person you call the big rabbi? This guy said, I'm ugly, and all of you are ugly. He said, what? So he says, no, he's a big rabbi, he's this, he's that, there's a reason. And of course he apologized, and the man said, look, if he's willing to apologize, I'm willing to forgive him, on flying condition that he never does it again. This is the end of the story. That's the give my hands over there. What's going on? He's telling us a story about one time a guy told him you're ugly, this, that, doesn't make any sense. Imagine now you see me walking in, this guy walks into the back, yo, my man, you're very ugly, man. This guy says, bro, oof, sheesh. Is that your whole family like that? Or is that just you, Everybody's walking out right now. Who talks like that? Imagine? So what's going on? So then Farshim bring down, obviously he wasn't looking at him in his face. He was looking at his neshama, his soul. He said to him, how could it be the beautiful soul that Hashem gave you, you contaminated it so much with averot, with sins? How could you have got to such a low level? He says, how did you get to such a place? Did you come from a place where everybody's like you, where they're so low in spirituality? And he said to him, if you have a problem with me, go to the person who created me. Meaning, what are you coming now to judge me? You're coming off a high, you had a good learning. You see me, I'm on one side of the spectrum, you're on the other side of the spectrum, and you think, oh, I'm going to judge him, you're very like this, and you know spirituality. He says, you have a problem with me, go to the person who created me. What does it mean to say? At the end of the day, no one in the world can judge another person. It's not your job to judge another person. It's not your job to say, oh, he's like this, I'm like that. It's not our job to judge other people. It's your job to love every single person. You want me to prove it to you? There's a pasuk in the Torah that commands us every single day. By the way, you're obligated from the Torah to love every single Jew. I'll tell you. I'll give you the pasuk right now. It says the pasuk in Vayikra, Va'avta le'arecha kamocha ani Hashem. You should love your fellow Jew. I'm God. Torah commands you to love your fellow Jew. You have an obligation from the Torah to love every single Jew. It doesn't say only if he's righteous or if he's a big tzaddik or a big chacham. Every single one of them has a job. And Hashem has his own relationships with everybody. It's his job to take care and judge and put everybody on spiritual level. It's not your job. You have to love every single body. Everyone, you have to love them. Obviously, if they're a wicked person, rasha, then if Hashem hates him, you also can hate him. But if he's, to know who's a rasha really. But really, you have to love every single Jew. Every single one of them. It's not your job to, oh, I'm like this, he's like that, I'm up here, he's down here. Look what Rashi says on the spot. Rashi says, on this pasuk, ואהבת לך כמוך, אומר, Rabbi Akiva, זה כלל גדול בתורה. Go to Sefirat, it says that Rabbi Akiva, the one whose 24,000 students passed away because they didn't treat each other respectfully, he says this pasuk in the Torah is the foundation of Judaism. Klal Gadol, one of the greatest foundations in Torah is you should love your fellow Jew. Klal Gadol. 24,000 students of his passed away, and he says this is a big klal in the Torah. So obviously he did whatever he could to try and deter them. He saw that he tried to pair them up and save them in whatever way he could. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. But you see what a beautiful concept it is. It says the Ibn Ezra. He says, what does it mean you have to love your neighbor? Can someone explain to me what it means you have to love your neighbor? I just have to love him? Great. Love him like you love yourself. It's possible to love somebody the way you love yourself? You and a guy are hanging off a cliff. You can only save one of you. You or him. Who are you saving? Most people, Kick the other guys down. It's possible. It's actually machlok in the Gemara. Rabbi Akiva says if a person has only enough water to survive, him and his friend, he has to drink the water. Rabbi Akiva himself says this. So machlok, the Gemara says, the other opinion says no. They both should drink half and they both should die together. Not one person should die over the other. We both should hang until our strength gives up and that's it. We have to go, both of us. Right? It's a machlok in the Gemara. But at the end of the day, we see a person has to love his friend. And what does that mean, love a friend? When someone is nice to you, it's very easy to love them. Hey, what's up, my brother? Whoa, what are you doing? How's everything? Great, come over. Let's open up a bottle of wine together. Let's open up a bottle of tequila. Let's have a good time, right? Easy to love that guy, right? How about the guy who's mean to you? How about the guy who curses you out? How about the guy who's not nice to you? How about the person who treats you badly? That person, you have to love him too. That one is hard to love, no? It's hard to love that person, no? So first and first, what does it mean to love a person? It doesn't actually mean you have to love him necessarily the way you love his goof. It means you have to love to watch him succeed. You have to love him in every way, says the Ramban. You have to love him in every possible way, whether it's in his learning to help him grow, whether it's financially to help him become more prosperous, whether it's in marriage, in life. You want to watch him succeed in everything he does. How difficult is that? To watch another person doing better than you and be happy for him as if you yourself are the one enjoying from it. Huh? Imagine that. Imagine right now, you see a person right now, and you 3 months, 3 years, 4 years trying to get married, you're looking and you're going on shidduchim, going on dates, you're going everything you possibly can, you can't find no one. And here's your friend, I just got an engagement. You're like, whoa, so beautiful, I love you. She goes home that night, I hate her, can't stand her. Huh? Chas v'shalom. But it's very difficult. Or a person who's trying very hard to have kids, here comes his friend on his 17th kid already. Yeah, my wife's another one. Another one? No, I can't even have one. You ready? Wow, I'm so happy for you, Mazal Tov. To watch another person prosper and to be happy for him as if it was you. To say, oh, you bought a new house? The guy tells you, I just bought a new Range Rover 250 limited edition. Wow, beautiful. I love it. It's beautiful. Or you see, I just got this new watch. Oh, really? Wow, it's great. I love it, The feeling of much is you who bought it. And the other way around too, says the Malbim. Let's say you have a situation in which you can make money, but you have to, in a way, screw the other person over. Some person asking himself, look, I can make money, but I have to take away from him a little bit. Says the Malbim, you know what you have to ask yourself? Would you be okay if someone did the same thing to you? If someone said, okay, I'm going to screw you over. I'm going to screw him over now. So let me ask myself a second. If somebody did this to me, how would I feel? How would I feel if somebody screwed me over to make a few dollars? I wouldn't be so happy, right? So then I obviously shouldn't do it to him. Maybe now we can understand what is after L'Acha Kamocha. And now we're going to see, there's actually the Kli Yakar brings down on Gemara Masechet Shabbat. There's this famous Gemara Masechet that happens in Masechet Shabbat. It says over there that one time a convert, prior to converting, came to Hillel and Shammai, two of the great sages. And he told them, I want you to teach me Torah al regel echad, on 1 foot. Yeah, imagine. Moshe, imagine 1 foot you're hopping around. No, what does it mean 1 foot? It doesn't necessarily mean teach me on 1 foot. It means what's the foundation? What's the thing that Torah stands on? Good? So obviously, he went to Shammai. What did he do? Shammai told him, but what are you coming over here and bothering me in the middle of the day? 1 foot, not 2 foot. Get out of my house. Get out. We quickly threw him out. And then he went to Hillel and told him, V'ahavta l'recha kamocha, ani Hashem, don't do to another person, don't do something that you wouldn't want done to you to another person. Very simple. Don't do something you wouldn't want to do. That's the foundation of Torah. The whole Torah stands on this. The whole foundation of Torah is this one thing, which is V'ahavta l'recha kamocha. You love your fellow Jew. That's the whole foundation of the Torah. Wait a minute. I have a question. There's a Gemara Masechet Makot that says Kotz pasuk in Habakkuk, one of the prophets, that says Tzadik b'emunato yichyeh. A righteous person in his belief he lives. And from there says the Brisker of the Bet Levi that the foundation, the Imam also mentioned it, the foundation of the Torah is emunah in Hashem, faith in God. So ask your question, what does it mean? On the one hand, you told me the foundation of the Torah is to love your fellow Jew. On the other hand, you told me the foundation of the Torah is to have faith in God. So which one is it? So the Torah stands on 2 legs or 1 leg? Which one is it? Says the Kli Yakar, it's really not a contradiction. And now I'll answer every single one question over here. How is it possible to love another person even when they do bad to you? Says the Kli Yakar, no contradiction. V'ahavta l'recha kamocha, ani Hashem. Let me ask you a question. If 2 kids are fighting right now, 2 brothers, the father comes to them, hey, stop fighting, you should love your fellow brother, I'm your father. What's the connection? I'm your father. What do you just randomly throw that in there? Look, with all due respect, of course, thank you Hashem for letting me know. I appreciate it. But we knew that you were Hashem. What is it? Ani Hashem. What's the additive? What's this extra 2 words over here? Ani Hashem, I'm God. What is it coming to add? Says the Kli Yakar, there's no contradiction. For you to love every single person, you have to first have emunah. You have to have faith in God. And understand that everything that happens to you in your life, Hashem brought it to you. Hashem is the one who brought it down to you. Hashem was the one who brought it to you right now. This person who talked to you not nicely, this person who spoke to you disrespectfully, this one who gave you a sour face, this one who looked to you not nice, this one who wasn't so nice to you, this one who didn't give you high the way you're supposed to, this one who didn't shake your hand, so on and so forth. Hashem is the one who sent it to you. And when you learn to understand that, you can love every single person. Because at the end of the day, he's only a messenger. What's meant to come to me is meant to come to me. And therefore, if you're the one who's doing it to me, great. Hashem will take care of you. It's not my job to hate you. It's not my job to deal with you. Hashem will take care of you. You want it to be the one who bring down this bad news, or to be mean to me, or to be rude to me. Great. I don't hate you. I have no problem with you. Actually, I love you. And I want only good for you. And this, I'm taking my message, and Hashem will deal with you later on, whatever has to be taken care of. Right? Remember one time, Rabbi Wallenstein, Zichron Levacha, he was saying that one time he was praying in Landau, the shul on Avenue L. And they were praying in the upstairs minyan. Over there, people don't know, Landau's is a place where every 15 minutes they have a minyan. Back to back, it's like over there, a minyan factory, praying factory. Tush, tush, you see 3,000 Jews coming out of there in 20 minutes. Back, forth, back, forth. So one time he was praying over there, and there was a kid sitting on the phone in the middle of the prayer. So there was an old guy over there, Holocaust survivor. I believe he was a Holocaust survivor. And he was kind of telling the kid, come on, what are you talking on the phone in the middle of a prayer now? You're bothering everybody. Everyone wants to pray. You're sitting down. Go outside. And the guy was like, very rude way. So Rabbi Wallenstein realized, this is a Holocaust survivor, an old man. Be respectful. Get up and leave. So Rabbi Wallenstein turns around, and right away the guy tells him, oh, look who it is. The rabbi who gives shiurim for women. Oh, you're coming to give tochacha in front of everybody. Good? So I'm telling you, you can look up the shiur yourself. Rabbi Wallenstein said he used to play hockey back in the day. His first instinct was punch the guy in the face, knock him out. That's also my first instinct. No? But he says, you know what? I didn't do anything. I let him go. When he left, the Holocaust survivor came up to me and I told him, this person, instead of getting upset with him, we have to pray for him. Why? Because usually the people who give you the most trouble are the people who need the most help. The people who give the most attitude and the most... A person who's bedikaon, a person who's in hardship and downfalls, he's the person who's going to be mean to another person. A person who's happy with his life and everything is going for him. He doesn't care, you're doing great, I'm doing great too. I love you, okay, good to see you. He's nice to everybody. So you see a person like this, you're not supposed to say, this is how you treat me, this is how you talk to me. I feel bad for him. This is how he's going on. Imagine what's going on inside of him. Imagine what's going on internally. I'm going to pray for this guy. I love him. I want him to get out of it. I want him to get in a better place. But how do you get there? To understand that everything that happens in the world comes from God. You cannot reach that level of understanding unless you understand that everything that happens to you comes from God. Hashem puts it in front of you. Straight up, Chad Mashmai. He puts it in front of you. And you're never going to lose by being nice to that person. Even if they're the meanest person to you in the whole entire world, you're never going to lose. I've never seen a person who you were nice to them and they gave back cruelty. What do I mean? Imagine now you're driving. All of a sudden comes a guy, whatever, and this guy pulls up on the other side. He cuts off the whole traffic. Yeah? Just to come to your car because maybe you, went too fast or brake too hard. I don't know. Yeah, there's always people on the street that are driving. Comes to your window and you already see before you pull on the window. Screaming, going crazy. Good? Imagine now you open the window. There's one or two choices. You can either be like, go with the monster Tasmanian devil, no problem. You guys can go back and forth until one gets out and something happens, yeah? Or you can be like, hey, my man, I'm so sorry. I apologize. You're right. I wasn't paying attention. I was driving. I'm in a rush. I have to go. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you. It's good to see you. Have a wonderful day. What's the guy? Oh, all right, bro. Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, you go. No, it's okay. Now he cut you off and blocked the other side of traffic now. Now you guys are playing no, you go. No, you go. No, it's okay. You go. No, you go. No, you go. What happened 2 seconds ago? I wanted to murder you. Now all of a sudden, no, it's okay. You go. No, you go. No, you go. Go already. What is this game all of a sudden now? When you're nice to a person, they're going to give you a nice bag. And usually those people are the ones who need it the most. The ones who are yelling and screaming, that's being the devil, those are the ones who need it the most. I said a story one time, the guy in the shiur gave out anger. He says, came to the rabbi, said, Rabbi, I have a problem with anger. So the rabbi sat down, I think it was a Stipler Rav. He made him sit down. He told him, look at me. And for about 5 minutes, he sat there making faces at the guy. 5 minutes. And the guy's like, Rabbi, I'm not so comfortable. I'm just go away in the hallway. Rabbi's like, shh, sit down. And for 5 minutes, he's just making faces. And about 5 minutes, the guy's sitting over there, doesn't know what to do. The rabbi is sitting there making the faces, just trying to, look at me. He's screaming, look at me. The guy, after 5 minutes, the rabbi tells him, no, how do you feel? He says, Rabbi, I feel very uncomfortable. He says, I want you to know, that's what everybody sees when you're angry. Same thing. What's the difference? But usually the people who get angry, the ones who get angry and rowdy and round up are the people who need the most help. So you see them, you shouldn't get upset with them. You should love them and say, look, I'm going to pray for this person because they need it the most. But look at this. Look at this. Also, by the way, the Ibn Ezra says this also. He says, you know what, Ani Hashem? I created all of you. Every single one of you is my creations. And therefore you have to love every single one of you. Every single one of you need to love each other. Now, who is the person that we see this the most with? That this is the way he lived his life. David HaMelech. How do we know? David HaMelech had a son, his name was Avshalom. He was afraid, Avshalom, that David was going to give the kingship over to Shlomo, which he did through divine prophecy. So what did he do? He went out to war with his father and tried to kill him. David, instead of fighting with his son, now imagine now, your son is coming to kill you. Instead of fighting with your son, ran away. As he runs away, he's saying a song to God. Mizmor le David, he says, a praise to God as he's running away from his son, who's trying to kill him. So the Gemara Masechet Brachot says, let me ask you a question, I don't understand. What is this, a praise to God? Mizmor is then happiness. What's happy about the fact that your son is coming and chasing after you to kill you? Anyone can tell me now? Imagine, woo, my son's coming to kill me, I'm so happy, great. What's going on with me? It says the Gemara should have said Kinana David, should have said a lemonade, sad. Why happiness? It says the Gemara that Hashem told David in Shmuel Bet that I'm going to bring wickedness from your house upon you. And David was afraid. He didn't know who it was going to be. It could be it's a servant, could be it's a midwife, could be anyone from my household that this evil is going to come to me. I don't know who it's going to come from. When he saw that it was his son, he said, thank you Hashem. Why thank you Hashem? Because out of all the people that it could have came from my household, my son is the person who have the most amount of mercy on me. That if he's going to be someone to kill me, let it at least be the person who have mercy on me. Pele. David HaMelech says, thank you Hashem that you sent my son, because if they have to kill me, let him at least be the person who can have mercy on me. Listen to this, it doesn't end over there. As he's running away from his son, who catches him? Shemi ben Gera. He was actually a member of the previous king, Shaul. And what does he do? He sees David HaMelech and he starts cursing him out. You're a bastard, your mother was a prostitute. And he's throwing stones at him. Taking stones and boom, throwing stones at him. Now Avishai, the right-hand man of David, tells David, let me kill this dead dog. What does it mean dead dog? Anyone, David HaMelech was a king at this moment. Anyone who disrespects the king, Chayav Mitah has to be put to death. What is dead dog? He's already dead, let me at least kill him. David HaMelech says something beautiful. Ki Hashem amar lo kalel et David. He tells him, don't do anything. What are you getting so worked up for? God is the one who told him to curse. Don't do anything to him. Don't do anything to him. Nothing. The guy is calling you a bastard. You know what it is to be a bastard? That means your mom cheated on your husband. Or she had a forbidden relationship, something crazy. Telling you your mom was this and this and that, and so all these crazy names in front of people now. Who over here is going to be able to sit down with a guy and tell him, no, it's okay, Hashem told him to curse, okay, yeah, you're right, it's okay, no problem. You know what kind of person you have to be? Listen to this. Says the Chafetz Chaim in Shmat HaLashon, and also the Chidah, the Chidah says this, that at that moment, when David HaMelech says Hashem told him to curse, he became the fourth wheel in the divine chariot of God. Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, and David. Up until that point he wasn't. Says the Chidah, all the prayers, all the Torah he learned, as much as he sang Kadosh Baruch Hu, everything he did, he wasn't zochet at this high level to be like the Avot, to be like the patriarchs. Until what? Until one person cursed him out, and he says, Hashem told him to curse me. Nothing to do with him. He said, okay, Hashem said, now, you're zochet to be the regel Ravi Merkava, the fourth leg to the chariot. The fourth leg to the chariot of God. So what do we see? Hashem, sometimes in life, He brings you something in order to bring you up. He puts tests in your life in order to bring you up another level. And what's your job in the world? To learn how to see it that way. Imagine I told you right now that every person that cursed you out, every time he cursed you out, another $1 million in the bank account. How are you going to look at him? Keep on going, another one, please, please. Imagine, another $1 million, another one, another million, another million. You tell him all day, curse at me, please, come with me to work, Bo. Come, let's go. Come on, Habibi, get in the car, jump in. Just keep on going. Every time God puts you in a test like this, just know God is telling you, I'm giving you an opportunity right now to grow to the highest levels. All you have to do is be quiet. And understand, Ani Hashem. I'm your God. And from there, you're going to get everything. There one time was a story, the Bet Levi brings down, Arav Ades. There was a war in Eretz Yisrael at the time, similar to what there is now. And a missile came down, and it hit up a gas line. The gas line went on fire, and a big fire spread out all over Jerusalem. And people started to panic, and they got afraid, and they were scared, they didn't know what to do. And right away, shortly after, another missile comes, hits a water line, bursts the water line blew up and put out the fire. So fire, a few minutes later, comes the water, puts it out. Says, wait a minute, what's going on over here? So they came to Rav Ades, and they asked Rav Ades, they said, look, Rabbi, who's more fit to answer the question than you? Why did the guy bring the fire if he wanted to just bring the water shortly after and put it out? Don't bring the fire in the first place. Rav Ades told them something amazing. He told them, Hashem wanted to bring you guys to pray. He wanted to bring the fire because He wanted to bring you the salvation. He wanted to save you, but He couldn't save you until you prayed. So He brought the fire so that way you can pray, so you can bring down upon yourself the sustenance. So you can bring down upon yourself the blessing. We see Hashem puts a person in trial, puts something in front of him right now, a little slap, in order for the person to wake up and say, look, pray, because I want to give you something big right now. I want to give you $1 million. I want to take you to the next level. I want you to become a bigger tzaddik. I want you to learn, whatever it is. I'm putting this in your life right now because I want you to take it to the next level. I want you to keep on growing. The famous parable that Rabbi Elon brings down, I brought it down in the past, about a guy who lived in Manhattan. He was a very, very wealthy guy. He was an ambitious guy. He says to himself one morning, look, I want to go and climb one of the tallest buildings in Manhattan. Not climb like Super Spider-Man on the side of the building, but 100 flights of stairs, I'm going to go up the stairs. Good. So he finds a building in Manhattan, he decides to have 100 flights of stairs. He says, this is the flight, this is the one I'm going to go to. Good. Comes to there, comes with his tights and his pink running shoes, starts doing lunge stretches in the downstairs, starts stretching his lunges, starts doing all types of warm-up exercises downstairs, and he's okay, I'm going. So the guy sees him over there, he tells him, sure, you want me to call you the elevator? Where are you going? He goes, no, I'm going up the stairs. He tells him, okay. So let me open the door for you. Opens the door, the guy goes up, he's like, okay, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going up and he's getting motivated. 6, 7, 8, 9. And this is just keep on going and going, and 12, and 15, and 17, and 18, and 20, and 50, and 70, and 80, and the guy's not giving up. 3.5 hours later, he gets to the 98th floor. He gets like the 15th wind. He comes up, he starts running. He's like, I finally made it. He comes out over there, busts the door open, runs down to the roof, starts dancing and partying. Yeah, I made it. Good. He starts laying on the floor, catching his breath. After 30 minutes, he gets up. He says, okay, it's time to go now. Turns around, wants to leave. The door in was the one way in with no way out. It's a flat door, no exit. No way to open the door, nothing. He starts banging on the door, nobody hears it. He takes out his phone, 100 flights up, no service. T-Mobile doesn't reach. No? It would have been better with Metro PCS. No? No service. So what does he do? He looks down from the building. He sees 100 little, not 100 people walking by like tiny little ants. So what does he do? Help! Nobody hears him. Help! Nobody hears him. Help! Nobody hears him. Okay, now he gets, what am I going to do? He goes into his pocket. He sees he has in his pocket money. He was a very wealthy guy. So he has 1s, 5s, 20s, 50s, 100s. So what does he do? He starts throwing down the 1s. He was cheap, not going for 100s first, yeah? Starts throwing down the 1s. All of a sudden, he sees the guy walking by. Oh, nice. Just pick it up, keep on walking. He says, okay, what am I going to do? Nobody helped me. Starts throwing down the 5s. And again, people picking it up and going. 10s, 20s, 50. Gets to the 50 guys stomping on the floor, dragging his foot, trying to run away so nobody sees him with the $50 bill. Finally gets down to his 100, starts throwing down the 100. People are grabbing and running until he runs out of money, and no one is coming to save him. Not one person looked up. What does he do? He turns around, he gets frustrated. He kicks the corner of the exit, and he breaks off a little piece of concrete. Takes the little tiny stone, chucks it off the roof, and he goes, hits someone in the head. Aye! Guy looks up, whoa, what's going on over here? Help! And the guy ended up saving his life. What happened here? This is a mashal, as a parable to us in our lives. When Hashem just gives you good, you look right, you look left, you put it in your pocket, you run away. Sometimes Hashem, when He wants you to look up, He has to give you a little stone, He has to give you a little slap. Just look up, but why does He do that? Why does He do that? The Gemara in Yevamot says, how come God made all the Imaot barren? Well, really it says the Avot, but who was barren? Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, and Leah. All four of them were barren. How come they were barren? Says the Gemara, because Hashem loves the prayers of tzaddikim. So what does that mean to say? They were meant to have children, and Hashem was going to give them children. But what did He want from them? To pray. So what does Hashem want from us? To pray, to look up to Him, to say, Hashem, we need you, build a conversation, talk to Him. So He gives us opportunities. When another person comes and talks to you not nicely, or another person comes and treats you not nice, or puts you on a test. And this test is an opportunity for you to grow. And if you understand that and you live that and you say, okay, this is my opportunity to grow right now, it'll take you to the highest levels, take you to the highest flights, it'll take you to the next level, to the next places. You have to understand that wholeheartedly. Those are the things that will make you the biggest places. Trial and tribulation are the thing. No one in the world ever became successful without having some type of trial, without something in their business and anything in the world. Hashem says, I want to make you to the next level, so I'm putting something in your hand right now, but you have to learn how to see it that way. So what does it mean? To love your fellow, you have to understand, Ani Hashem, when you have faith in me, then you can love Him. Why? Because you understand that I'm the one who's sending Him to you. I'm the one who brought Him in front of you. I'm the one who's making this happen, and therefore, understand that I'm making this for you as an opportunity for you to grow. When you understand that, then you'll understand to love this person. Because imagine now, like I told you before, this guy's giving you $1 million every time he's screaming at you, you're going to love him more than anything in the whole entire world, no? You love him more than your wife. But you know what I mean? A person, imagine now, every time he's screaming $1 million. Of course, you're going to love the person. And that's everything in your life, every opportunity, every time, everything. You're going to always find that whenever you put yourself in a position to say, look, I'm muvater, I'm letting go, I love this person, I'm going to pray for him. Guess what? You're only going to go up and up and up and up, and you're going to go and reach the highest levels. David HaMelech. You think if David HaMelech would have known that in that test over there, he would have been zochet to the fourth regel of the Merkava, to the fourth leg of the chariot, he wouldn't have been dancing and singing with the guy. You know what you just gave me right now? You know what you just gave me right now? I'm reaching the highest levels in Shamayim. You call me, keep on going. You're right, let's sing together. I'm a bastard, I'm a bastard. Well, and obviously we know this week was Yom HaShoah, just passed. Really, this week was the day of the remembrance of the Holocaust. So, of course, I wanted to bring down a story from the Holocaust, something that happened. And when I was looking through a few different stories, this one caught my eye and I said, I have to tell the story. There was a story in a time in one of those concentration camps that were there in Makshimam, the Nazis. And what they would do at the time is in the very beginning, they would tell people they wouldn't shower them, they wouldn't give them the ability to shower, they'd barely give them any food, they were malnourished and they were dirty and filthy. So what would they tell them? Look, we want to give you a shower, come, we're going to give you guys a collective shower. They collected about 50 people, 60 people, and they would put them into a shower, quote unquote, and really we all know it was a gas chamber. They would release gas and the people would pass away. In the beginning, nobody knew. People left and never came back. What's going on? After a while, the Jews started to understand that they're taking them to the death. And the word started to get around, this thing is a gas chamber. Happened to be, there was once 50 boys under the age of 18, 17, 16 years old, who decided these boys we're going to send them to the chambers. We don't need them, let's just get rid of them, yalla. Tfaddal, they're young, easy, throw them in there. So they get the 50 boys, they tell them, look, let's go get a shower. The 50 boys know good and well they're not taking them to no shower. Listen to this story. One of the boys, he's sitting inside of the gas chamber in the shower with 50 of them, and there's always a few moments before the gas comes down. And one of the boys looks at his friends, he says to them, look, today is Simchat Torah. Today is the holiday of Simchat Torah. We all know what's going on over here. If we're going to go out from this world, let's go out dancing. They start grabbing each other, 50 of them, grabbing each other. The whole room was shaking. The Nazis in the other room are going crazy. What is going on over here? He asked the other guy, he tells him they're singing. He says, in all my years over here, I've never seen something like this. I've seen prayer, I've seen crying, I've seen tears, I've seen silence. But dancing? He goes to the door, he opens the door where these people are sitting down, he tells them, what are you doing? And the leader who told them, let's all start dancing, he tells them, what do you mean? Today's a day of celebration. He tells them, what do you mean? He says, I get to get away from you, you disgusting Nazi. Take me from the world, I get to go to Shamayim. I get to get away from you. The Nazi hears this, says, you chutzpah, disrespectful person. He says, you know what, I was going to kill you guys easy in the gas chamber, but you guys are going to save you something even worse. Takes them, he puts them in a side corner over there, all 50 of them, and he's planning on executing on them a bigger punishment in the days to come. The next morning, from another concentration camp, comes a higher ranking general in the Nazi army, looking for younger guys that he needs to be the power force and to do the workload. Happens to be as he's walking by, who does he see? The 50 boys sitting over there. He asked the Nazi general, who are these boys? He says, no, don't worry about them. He says, what do you know, don't worry about them? These 17-year-old boys, every single one of them is strong, I need them. And he outranked them. He ended up taking every single one of them and they all lived. Every single one of them lived. You understand what's going on here? They were faced with opportunity where their life was in their hand and they said, you know what, at this moment we're going to say, Hashem, we're with you, we believe in you. And they started dancing and singing, took it upon themselves, Hashem, we're accepting this from Hashem. We're accepting it. And Hashem said, you accepting it? Now I'm saving you. Now you get saved. Every moment of our life, if we learn to understand these two words, Ani Hashem, I am God. What does that mean? It's so small but so heavy. It's such a big impact on your life. Everything that happens to you, Hashem, put it in your life. And it's your job to learn how to see that and understand this is an opportunity for me to grow. And therefore you can never hate anyone because you know, this right now is my ticket to Gan Eden, and this one right now is another $1 million. This is another blessing, another growth, another happiness in the home, another kid. Another good thing is going to come from this. Why would I hate this person? I love you. Thank you for giving me more and more and more and more and more. Because of you I'm gaining. Because of you I'm gaining. And that's the reality of the world. We have to understand that. That's why this is the time right now. The 24,000 students at Rabbi Akiva passed away because they didn't have that love between them. They didn't have that appreciation for one another. They said, I love you. I want to see you grow. I want to see you accomplish. Because at the end of the day, everything comes from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Everything comes from Hashem. So if you're doing good, I'm doing good. I love you. I want to see you doing good. When other ones succeeded more than them, they didn't come out of hatred. This is the days that we're in right now. Why? Because we also need to work on it. Because we also need to perfect this. We also don't understand that we see people in our life. People come, and I'm talking to myself, who talk to you not nice, speak to you disrespectfully, come to you. I tell you personally, a story that happened to me when we were in the other location. Before we moved to this shul, we were in another location. One time, it used to be at the end of the shiur, I used to stay till 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning with people having conversations, this, that, so on and so forth. Don't ask me to anymore, Baruch Hashem, I want to go home and sleep. Yeah? But that's what it used to be. And one time, I was talking to a guy over there, and we were speaking, and he asked me for advice. I said, da, da, da. And it could be that I gave, look, when a person comes to me and asks me for advice, I talk to the person according to the level that I assume that they're on. What does it mean? I speak to them face to face. I'm not telling them I'm greater than them. I talk to them face to face. I'm real with them. I said something to them, not mean. I told them something about their life. They felt a little overwhelmed, and they threw a nasty remark at me. Something that was rude. Okay? I didn't get upset, of course. I left it alone. He went, and I went. About an hour later, he calls me. He tells me, please, I want to apologize. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. I told him, you want to apologize? I want to thank you. He says, what do you mean thank me? You didn't do anything. It was my fault. I got angry. I shouldn't have got frustrated. I told him, no, you don't understand. You yelling at me in front of those people, you gave me an opportunity to grow. You gave me an opportunity to go to the higher level. So thank you. I don't need your apology. I'm thankful. I appreciate you that you gave me that opportunity. The guy was almost in fainting. He almost called 911. Told me, what is going on with this guy? He says, Majnun. This guy's loose. That's the way we have to look at the world. The guy curses you out. Love you. Thank you. Appreciate you, brother. Why? Because you know this is an opportunity for you to grow. When you know that, when you believe that, when you have that structure in your life, now you understand. I'm God. I put everything in your life, and everything I give you is for you. It's for you to be better. It's for you to grow. It's for you to reach the next level of your life. And when you learn to see it that way, then you can live a truly happy life. And we all be zocher to really love one another. And with that, we'll be able to bring Mashiach to Amen.